transaction which is happening about 5 years. Okay. Once the transaction is there, it's called a business environment. Once business is there, it needs an effective management. So you must cultivate certain skills of basic management at least to become a graduate engineer. Training is one thing which you are using now. You can become GEMS, that is graduate engineering management. Okay, so this is very important for you. I should stress upon this, and definitely higher studies aspects. If you want to ask any questions, we are always there to answer you. But to deliver a lecture on higher studies, there is nothing actually, because you all know very well that what is happening after these days. Someone wants to get into teaching profession, they can get into FTech and further research and other methods. And of course, MS in US, which is actually taking up. Higher studies also takes you through a gate. Gate is again enabling you for a PhD opportunities. So it can take you to the studies as well as a good job also. So higher studies is becoming a very small area nowadays. Of course, unless it goes to the specialization, like management. Okay, technical advanced studies is something which you have to do by your choice and definitely not by course. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'm there on the podium for some more time in case you want to ask any questions. Good luck and all the best for the interview.
Thank you, sir. And I truly agree that networking is a stepping stone for success as well. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. K. Sheeba for industry and tell a little about their journey in the sector.
Good afternoon. Industry. So this is a very common word used by first year student to final year, before first year, after final year also. The people who get the job, they speak so many things for their success. The people who doesn't get the job, they will always start blaming someone else in the college 4 years. That because of that college, I am not getting job. So, now there is a mistake. So I want to put some of my life in the last 20 years in front of you, so that where to go, and as a student where I started, and why I was in industry, why today I am in academics. After 20 years of journey in industry, suddenly changing the track from industry to the academics is not a simple decision. It's not a small decision. So this is the thought process was made in me, and so I thought, what is the gap? People speak about the gap between industry and academics. Then I thought, let me enter into the industry and let me see what is the gap in academics. So 20 years I had spent. The first 5 years, I had my own startup. 5 years, I was having the startup. Then, I thought, okay, that one of my business scope was bridge the gap between industry and academics. So I was in IIT Kanpur. I started my own startup along with IIT campus research, which is how artists today is here actually in third year itself we started. So during my PhD I started my own startup. Then I studied the positive side of IIT, negative side of IIT, the positive side of industry, and the negative side of industry. I got an opportunity those 5 years when I was at my own startup. Then I thought after 5 years also, I was a very bad. I started analyzing myself why I am supposed to not move as supposed to move on. Then I thought I realized that I'm not a good guy in making it move. That what he said was right. For a startup, team is most important. So I could not, after 5 years also, I could not make my team. A lot of people are in and out, some came forward, go back. So I thought something is missing with me. Then I started analyzing myself. Then I thought, okay, let me enter into the industry and see where is the mistake. It's me actually. Why I'm not able to find it. Then I joined Naik company with some company called Mohammed. There I worked for 5 years with them. Still I found there was a problem, actually, not with me. 5 years again I started analyzing myself like where it is. Then there is I have seen the problem somewhere else. Then I thought, okay, let me verify the results. Then I moved from the Western industries to Silicon Group of Company, Gujarat, Anand Gujarat. I was getting the corporate R&D. So 5 years I worked there, and I realized, I understand. I think there is a problem. Actually, what students require, what industries require. It is like maybe a small thing. I felt both are like a kid's like I want something, but the kid what he wants he doesn't know. Neither industry nor academics. You know, like chocolate. Suddenly kid start crying like I want that chocolate. I want that chocolate. So what chocolate he wants, he doesn't know. But both are like crying. Industry is also crying for the manpower, and the academics is crying for the job. So now why both are not coming forward? Where they are not aligning each other. Then understand the problem. Then I thought of coming to academics. So I have a lot of experiences in my industries in the various schools, the various categories, from the manufacturing to design to studies to maintenance, all the departments. Then I thought, okay, let me enter into the academics, the final, where my resources are going to generate it. So let me guide. So there I am here, and I hope you take my experience, maybe good or bad. I don't know even that what my experience is. So in this EWB, Engineers Without Border, chapter then Santosh, and I thought I think this will be the one of the path or way to connect the industry to the academics efficiently. Yeah, that's how I practice. I'm excited to work with you guys. And let me know any questions. I think I conveyed my message, and you can meet me at any point of time. Okay. And even our office hours also, you can talk to me and you can ask me the questions what you want to become. But don't wait for the final year. This is my humble request. So planning your career in final year is like a patiently nice. You can't do anything. Done, everything is done. Now, what is going to happen is going to happen. So if you want to do something, please wait up in the second year. First year, I understand because of the Narayana and taking at least you want to enjoy for 1 year. Actually. But enjoy that 1 year, but second year, I will start your career plan. What do you want to do? So, this is my experiences. Thank you very much.
I would like to call upon Ms. Ali Munisa for social innovation.
Different requirement. So your system will become complex. So you have to start with a single person. So let us take an example of mine. I love cooking, but I hate washing dishes. Now you might be thinking that, okay, ma'am, so what we should do? Dishwashers are available in the market. They are available in the market, but the thing is, the size of the dishwasher is big and the cost is also very high. Suppose in my case, I can afford the dishwasher also. But the thing is, I don't have the space in my home to keep the dishwasher. So the thing is, what is my requirement now? My requirement is I need a portable dishwasher. Is it possible to create? It's a need of a single person. Another simple, small scale example, if we take another issue I was facing, I was carrying ice cream from mall to my home in a small plastic cover. If I get from there to here, my ice cream melts, and then I have to again keep it in a freezer, and then I have to eat. So is there a possibility that I can get a cover which can help me to save the ice cream did not get melt till I reach the home? I got an idea that, okay, I used to see there was a like ice balls were used to be there in when I was in childhood. I used to eat that person used to carry the ice in the thermocol box. So is it possible to create something, a cover, plastic cover with some thermocol thing or something else that I can carry ice cream? So this is one of the examples which I gave you. So the only thing is, from this social innovation thing, what I suggest is you have to do like more from less for many, and see how it's going to impact other people after you complete the first iteration of for a single person, and then you can scale it. And next one is the last point which I want to mention is about how it's going to impact your careers. It's nothing but during this process, you are not learning, but all the processes. Sorry, my daughter is making a noise in between. So we are nothing learning, but all the processes during this, and it is going to impact when you're, what do you say, when you go to the industry. So even in the education and all the speakers, what we have spoken about, all these things are helping you to learn the processes. And once you go to the industry, you are ready with the process. So if any input is given, you can process it and give it the output. So if you, example, if you say general, simple example, if I take a mixer grinder, if you say, the grinder is, the work of it is just to grind. You give a mango to it, you give watermelon to it, you give some vegetables, you make a juice out of it, you just course something or grind something, it doesn't. Its only work is to that. So similarly, throughout the education of 4 years or throughout your journey, by what you learn is the processes, and at the end, it will help you in the industry to meet, because there will be needs of the industry people that you have to do some tasks. So you are ready with some processes that I should take this idea, then generate this, then prototype this, and similarly you can go ahead. So at last, I want to close with a quote saying that there is a very famous quote about charity begins at home. So I will say that social innovations can also begin at home. Simply, you are having so many issues, your parents may have issues, so it doesn't require any particular domain to get started. You can just start by taking a small problem and become a social innovator. So I will thank all the social innovators sitting over there and also listening online. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Azimulisa is the only lady behind success of Epics in Hitam. She started this initiative in Hitam in 2016. Initially, very less students were interested in this program, but slowly she encouraged students for doing engineering rather than studying engineering. She has established her unique personality in the college. She actively participated and supported each and every student in their project work. This success of her is not her fate. It is her continuous and committed love to hard work. Thank you, ma'am. Now the session is open for discussion. Guys, if you have any questions related to your job, higher studies, social innovation, or any industrial thing, panel is open now. The first question is from Ramya. I have a question like what's the difference between bachelor degree and MS? The question is related to higher studies maybe. Yeah.
So bachelor degree is pretty undergraduate.
Yes, sir.
MS is the postgraduate. The difference means
Regarding any results or study academic maybe in that terms.
MS
MS and bachelor degree.
MS degree is bachelor degree, MS degree is advanced course that you will undergraduate, especially in other university outside India. It's called MS. Can you be more specific? You are looking at the management thing or
No, sir. It's like MTech and MS different.
so we call it MTech.
Yes.
In US it's normally used as MS. But
Yes.
even management also they say it is MS.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yes.
I can answer in another way. When you are moving from 10th class to intermediate, right?
Yes, sir.
You are doing some few subjects like social. Either social you go, okay, art, science, or biology, right?
Yes.
Either one of it will take.
Yes.
Again from intermediate to UC. Again you will do something. From the same day, from the undergraduate to postgraduate, you will need other subjects and you have a focus on a few areas.
Yeah, yes.
So that's how you transit from 10th class to in undergraduate. The same way in PG, you will focus on more points. Because as a human being, we cannot learn everything. In undergraduate, we have all the areas, all the subjects. But in one of the subjects, we master. That's called it postgraduate.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from
I want to ask, so what skills are actually required to go for a startup?
In the sense, in particular, like you should have communication skills. That's the most important thing because you need to build a team up. If you are not able to communicate with the team, then you are flop at the beginning one. So communication is one of the key things that you require to make a startup.
And is there any particular skill like how to improve the skill from starting a startup to maintaining a startup and to excel in a startup? Like how can I tell you? From starting a startup, so being a founder of the startup and from private limited company, which are to manage and to grow so many skills in it. So what are the specific skills there? Any specific skill or anything so that we can also improve ourselves and also improve the startup.
As you grow, you learn things. Similarly, as you start, you don't know things, and eventually you will come up to a point where that's what I told you. I think you always be learning. So eventually you will learn. You learn and come up with new things. Like in my personal experience, I started as an engineer, design engineer. In that time, we use a particular software in a SolidWorks. There are multiple modules of that. I eventually learned it. Similarly, if you are planning like a particular set of people are there, in that not everyone will do the same job. They have particular individual jobs, roles and responsibilities. So everyone should learn something new every day. It is like not a particular skill set will take you somewhere. You should learn that particular skill set in different ways. Like if I know this skill, where I can apply that skill. Application is also important.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to add a little this also. See, entrepreneurship is a very big opportunity. Let me say now, because having the career part of you, I should say entrepreneurship is a very big opportunity. And as you all relate yourself, as a kid, the kid starts crying, so you draw the mother's attention. So crying is a type of communication, right? So I'm not saying you should all cry for a customer, but okay, you should be able to effectively communicate about your idea. You can communicate about your idea effectively only when you have a conviction about your idea. You you must believe that your idea has a selling point. Then you start selling, correct? So you should understand your concept very clearly, agree to the concept very solidly, and convince about the product very, you know, properly to yourself first. Once you are convinced with your idea and when you are clear about what you will communicate to others about its usage and tangibility, you can always be successful. So I'll add a to what I just said. Communication has to be improved gradually. Private limited, public limited, these are all stages of the company, which will automatically happen as per the size of the business you do. Okay, so it's a question of how you impact people. You know, all this depends upon how you impact people. It's no idea. You can see a lot of youngsters between 13 and 14 years, students, I would say. They are coming up with a lot of innovative ideas. And they are making presentations on TED Talks also nowadays. So it is something which is conveying idea is very important than just having the idea. Okay? Convey it effectively, like what we did with a couple of his peers in engineering studies. So he could able to make the space in his office and now able to expand his idea. Okay? So that's what I wish to say, that effective communication, your conviction on idea is very, very important.
Thank you.
The next question is from So, sir, as you said, you have got to see the difference between industry and the academics, right? So, I wanted to ask you, what's your take if we start our career as well as when we are doing our academics? So, it will be hectic for us if we start our like doing our jobs or the startups while doing our academics. So, what's your take on this? What if we start doing our jobs or the startups right now in the second year, right from the second year or right from the third year itself?
Learning is a continuous process. Okay. So for a startup, for a job, which one I have to do? If I'm not, there is a question, right? It is very difficult to choose as an investor, have I have to go to the job, have I have to go to startup. The first process comes in the mind. The question what you have asked is, what is the skill set is required? I will say the skill set is required is a passion. If you have a passion, yes, you can learn a lot of things and you can be the best in entrepreneurship. At the same time, the same passion is required for the job also. For the doing the job, okay. If I do BTech 4 years, after 4 years, will I get the job? Why people are not doing the job only? There, what to do and what not to do. How to spend my 4 years of time to reach my goal. So, in second year, third year, that's what I said. First year, yes, you enjoy yourself. You just concentrate on the subject. Don't have a backlog. In second year itself, you should have a clear-cut mind where to go. Okay, suppose let us say I have a confusion after going for a job in the second year in entrepreneurship. First, find out what is your passion. Pursue your passion. Automatically, it will lead where you want. It may be entrepreneurship, it may be a job. But the second and third is very, very crucial, and you need to plan yourself where should I go. So you have to talk to your mentors. The beautiful system in our college actually. Talk to your mentors. Talk to your career design CDC center. You give your path. What is your passion? So automatically they will guide you where to go. Suppose if I want to go for a job, this is my path. If I want to go for an entrepreneurship, this is my path. Okay. Final year and suddenly I realize that now I cannot go for an entrepreneurship. I want to go for a job. There is no problem because an entrepreneurship is a subset of all everything actually. You will learn the job also, you learn skill set also, everything. So be clear what you want to do. Pursue your passion. That is only I can say. Don't run behind either in the entrepreneurship nor in the job. Pursue your passion. But recognizing your passion is the most important that only you can only do.
Well said, sir. I truly agree.
I would like to add a minute. Your idea is whether you want to take this path or that path is one way of looking at it. But if you find that, to give a shape to your idea of entrepreneurship, has any relevance to the course you are doing, try to find out the nexus between these two and persuade family. There's nothing wrong. Most of the people do that, like what I think they've done. So you find that some sense of familiarity is coming into your idea. So try to relate themselves together and start your journey. Maybe as early as third year or early as fourth year, you could properly give a shape to your idea and launch your entrepreneurship also. There's nothing wrong. But don't keep it as an option without doing anything proper. Do justification for both. Justify your idea, justify your entrepreneurship process. Academics also. That makes it proper.
Very well said, sir. Truly, I agree that changing.
I think
Yeah.
Azim ma'am also will have to put some thoughts on this because she has traveled a long way in this area.
Azim ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to add something here?
And you want to ask for the closing point? I did not hear the question. The sound is very less.
Okay, ma'am. Guys, next question.
Good afternoon, sir. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, what are the qualities that a person should have? To me? Yes, sir. See, success is again a definition of your satisfaction level. Okay? For example, I feel happy when I read book. Somebody will feel happy, feels happy who watches movie. So again, success, if I earn $1 billion, yes, I feel it's a success. But I will put, for example, India comes to the social innovation. If I do something where handicapped people or disabled people can walk, can overcome that disability of my innovation, of my product, which is may not be that much value in terms of a money, but 100 people can listen and hear about my innovation and they can communicate with the society. I feel happy. So success is in terms of money, in terms of a satisfaction, in terms of again innovation, what you define. Hello, somebody asked this question. So success is not somewhat different. You have to define yourself. After fourth year, you are doing something which is not generating money, but still you should not feel that okay, I'm not getting success. So don't understand your definition. Maybe I am assuming that maybe success is connected to the money. No. Success has its own definition. What you want to do, how you want to do. Finally, finance is the amphetamine I call it. Amphetamine is all vitamin deficiency, you cannot sustain, right? Like amphetamine is required, but if it is more than what you require, always has its own side effects. So study nature. Nature will tell you how optimize the things are. So success, if you want to know the definition, observe the nature. Nature will tell you where the success is. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I truly agree. And I have one point here to add. Converting your business or else converting your passion into business is nothing but entrepreneurship. So next question is from
I want to add passion with patience.
passion to business.
Is very important. Yeah, so my question is for Mohammed.
sir, I have a question for you. What I noticed is teaching in India comparatively to the abroad colleges that particularly very different. The way teachers teach the subjects or all the textbooks are printed or something. So what do you think that what kind of a perspective should students have to cope up with their teaching?
See, if you look at, global standards, I'm not comparing India and abroad. See, it's the students who make difference everywhere. So it's a discipline, it's a kind of attention, and it's a kind of clarity they carry in their mind about what they would like to pursue makes all the difference. Especially in US universities, and some of the universities in India have started practicing that. The students opt to have a lecture at particular time. And lecturer will see that he is, dashboard, and then comes to the class. If you give this opportunity in India, let me tell you, there will be no buttons pressed to any of the students because they will be always in carry. But in US and some of the I'm not saying with any disrespect to the student community, we are not tuned to that kind of behavioral aspects actually. Okay, students have to be defined with the statement of purpose of why they are here and what they are learning. Okay, let me take my own example. My son is doing his BBA business analytics in one of the universities in Noida. From the very first semester of it, I used to tell him every subject he studies, what is the relevance of business analytics he has to gain from that particular topic. So if you read, if you understand the syllabus implications to the outcomes of your course, I think the journey can be what you want and it could be as successful as it can. US or any other country, as a matter of fact, guides you in the same direction. What you want, you pick up and learn. This is what they teach. Here, there is a defined structure of syllabus which will take you to a level and make you successful as well. Okay, but there it is you have to define yourself. Okay, that's a basic difference, and it could be something here and there, some minor changes could be there in an approach plan there. Okay, compulsion is something which is not there in most of the universities, but completion is very important. There is a topic, you have to complete that by number of hours in within a stipulated period. So within that, whenever you complete is complete. But here compulsions are more, there the completion is more. That's why better outlook will start in the student's mind there. Here we have only something called pressure cooker, which is now not there in most of the institutions. And Hitam is the first college where I have seen more difficult. I'm sure it's right.
True, sir, true.
Slightly, I'll put the other way. Yes, the universities in India, the universities abroad, only one thing, one opposite is student has an open mind and he wants to do what he will do. But towards a path, career goal. But in India, the major problem is maybe 10-15% has a career goal. The remaining 85% students doesn't have a career goal, which deviates these 15% also. These 85% will always try to pay those 15% what they are doing. This is the like a frog in a well, crab in a crab, it pulls the ladder. Suppose let us say, I know very well, the students who are in EWB, who are participating, the other students, उनको मजाक उड़ाता होगा. Okay, so this happens, but in India it happens more. Percentage is more, 85% and 15%. In US, it will be 50-50, yeah, 40-60. It's closer because the communities are career oriented more in US. That is the difference. And yes, income has, I can call it a pressure reliever. See, pressure cooker is important. If we don't give you pressure to you guys never come to for a competition or a class or an exam. If they going to announce exam, then people will start looking where the books are. Okay, where the books are, right? So, what I understand. In one day you can do go for exam and pass it. I understand. Remaining point of view, you can do something else.
also appreciate one day writing, yes, exams are over and you pass it, and that is good mark. Then you think that I can study one day and I can complete what JND is not my category. But what I say, I will say another way. Remaining 3 months or 3.5 months, what you are doing? You pursue, you get a passion, try to pursue your passion, and if you add that passion to the patience, yes, go for a business. This is the difference between the Indian and US university. And Hitam, actually, I have seen IITs. Actually, my experience, I am saying, I did my MTech and PhD from IIT Kanpur, which is one of the best university and one of my best period in my life. 10 years in 96 to 2008, approximately. Yes, 12 years. I was at IIT Kanpur. I have seen all IITs. I have seen abroad universities. The IIT system, what is flexibility you are having? I'm not saying that Italy is having the same, but yes, the similar culture is one. So please use the openness and one of your departments like Azim has started ethics and doing engineering actually. Today Hitam is having Department of Doing Engineering, which doesn't have any there in India at least. Abroad, not in the name of this, they call it a project facility. But in India, there is no any university, including the top universities like Angla University, Usman University. This doing engineering department doesn't have. Today, Hitam is having. So please, you are fortunate to have this college, and please use this facility at college. Thank you. I had a small point about the entire engineering student community. There was a recent survey about the skill report in college, which comes out every year from one of the assistant companies. Here they have found only 40.8% of the students in Indian engineering colleges can understand what the information they have got about their career. Rest of the 59.2% student doesn't know what to do with the information. Information is there with them. How to interpret, how to get clarity about their own career. They are not aware of how to use the information. This is very ironic, big irony for that. So, institutes and information, whatever you have got, like this is a forum where you can really come up and ask some questions about your career or anything career. But not only in the forums, you can be as well needed the department people and whenever there is department, you can straight walk in and take your clarity. Don't hesitate. See, someone is pulling you back. Don't hesitate. Tell them you be here, I'll come back in 10 minutes. So take your own decisions. Try to be more individualistic to make your own career. If you keep following someone, it will be like a group of top of okay. So don't try to do that. In fact, most of the people believe in okay, some next company will come and do a mass hiring from our college, all of us go and work in the same company. All of us will have the similar environment to the world. We can also continue our chatting that what we did in the college here. It's not possible. You must create an identity for yourself and skills which can represent your identity. To represent and to gain an identity, you must have enough information. So try to build on the information interest in you to become more successful in the industry. And how to use the information is most important for you than just having a lot of books that you will a lot of information doesn't matter, but how to interpret the information and come up with the information useful to you is important. Okay, this is very, very important. Please take mark my words. How to use information is going to become a big advantage for you. So start using information, start gaining information from people like seniors and the department heads.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from.
My question is to Adil man. This is Madhu man. How to motivate constant mindset to social innovation? As you taught me in the first year of engineering, can you please elaborate that?
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
I got half of your question, Majid. I think it is Majid, right? I can see you. I got half of your question that how to motivate the youngsters.
First and mindset regarding social innovation, which you taught us in the first year of engineering.
Yet not clear for me. Majid, keep the mic close to your mouth.
How to motivate?
got- Keep the mic close to your mouth, Majid. I'm not able to hear.
As how to motivate consent mindset regarding social innovation, which you taught us in the first year of engineering.
Okay. Say motivating engineers means it's like whenever you want to start something, it should be something connected to them. Like when I said innovation can be started from home. So if suppose they are having some issues related to them, if you identifies the problems that are close to them and let them solve that problem, like individual problem. Let us say, suppose if we have a problem related to as somebody a patient, like we have a solved a problem, like in their home some old persons are there, suppose, and if those person cannot have their food directly, like coming to the dining table and all, some of our faculty design a adjustable table for them that they can keep the food over there and eat. So small kind of projects related to them. I'm saying that in their house there are some issues, some problems. So let them identify those issues and problems and then solve them and motivate them that when this helps them directly or indirectly, they themselves will get motivated to help others. Because whenever if you want anybody to get to do some work, it is all from their inside. Like all the panel members were speaking about their careers and how they shift from educate like industry to education, like Shiv Prasad sir was speaking and all. So if you want to motivate any person, it has to be something related to them. So try to find problems that is associated with each person, let them identify, and then step by step follow like the what do you call the design paradigm of like how to what is a problem and then how to get generate the ideas. Slowly help them. And other thing is not only just giving the ideas, it's all about supporting them, like is it getting funds, or if it's a small project, I think you yourself and some other people can identify some source or resources where they can get funded and get this project done, because many people will not be having the this criteria of they may not be capable of getting the projects developed and all. So this all things can be considered to motivate the person. And another thing is the strong thing for motivation is appreciation. Whatever a person do should be appreciated. So even a project, suppose first person is starting somewhere and it ends up at some point. I remember that first time when you designed the fan blower, sorry, the leaf blower, the first time we designed, there were some issues related to it. But still you got appreciated, you got awarded. And I think in conferences also you presented the paper. So that appreciation should be there at each stage, like in issuing certificates, awarding the people, and appreciating, at least speaking about them, giving a letter of appreciation. That all should be there as a part of motivation. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. So my another question was to excelling after is it after academics after industrial or industrial after academic? And we have different skill set in the industrial and different skill set during academic. Like in order to pursue master, after master industrial or industrial after master? I understand clearly the question is after undergraduation, before masters, one has to go for a job or has to go for 6 months whichever. But this is question like why are both here? Whatever I like, I take it. We entire different skills that during the industry again. Again, might say before in the interest of the skill set is not the for the higher studies but for the job. Skill set is what you want to again. I said, skill set is for your passion. Okay, suppose I want to watch movies. I enjoy movies more than anything else. So let me enter into movies. Maybe a cameraman, maybe a direction, maybe a dance master, whatever it is. Because I enjoy that feeling. But I enjoy the movie, but I want to go for a job in the IT industry. Both are competing each other because in the IT industry I have to sit in front of the computer more than 12 hours. I never get a chance to watch a movie. Because this is what people do, does the mistake. Where I want because I want money, let us say. I am saying more clear. I want money. So now let's do what is Jadu Pocha, whatever it is, I will get more money. That is in IT industry, engineering industry, mechanical, electronics, it is whatever it is. I want more money, so let me find out the job where I can get more money. But I want to pursue my passion. So the question is, slightly I'm correcting the question actually. It's not like before industry, before masters, I should go for industry or not. Before masters, if you go for industry, work for 2 years, then it will have more clarity what you want to do in masters. So if it's a continuation after BTech, maybe you are not that much awareness what you want to do in masters. But if you work for 2 years and then if you pursue masters, then there you will do lot of things what you have understand what you think in the industry. But the problem is after working 2 years, no one wants to go for masters. Maybe out of 100, maybe 2-3 people. Because already, that's because of money. Yeah, that is not money. Money is not bad. You are adjusted to a and habituated of just like Corona, we are habituated of the food and sit at home, right? So now, how many people are going for a morning walk? How many? 3 people out of habits are, that's why you have to, that's what I call always a discipline. If you maintain discipline in your life, yes, everything else will follow you. It's like a simple how you dress yourself. It's like that, you need to prepare yourself mentally what to be there. That's the first thing. Can you maintain silence, please? Please, keep silent. Please don't murmur among yourself. There's some important inputs you might get just to be useful. See, as Sir said, if you start working for a couple of years and then getting the masters, it could make sense, actually. There are people like, I've seen a couple of students who have joined Deloitte, which is a consulting firm, and then getting into a business school, then coming back and joining them or taking up a better job in a big four consulting company. How it happens is how you aspire your career. Because it all depends on your career. Most of the people this generation, I'm not again commenting, but they're happy. Morning Swiggy, afternoon burger, evening film, night Netflix. This is the job for a current employee. Okay. This can be always, resolved by people. If you want serious about a career, get into something, plan your career, achieve some additional qualifications, become your next pedestrian. Going happens only when you acquire knowledge and experience. Both are possible. Without experience, without knowledge can make a better personality of you. So there's nothing like a divide and rule anywhere there. Okay? They're all together. It all depends on how you are geared up for that. Is more important than anything. And you can get clarification from people like me or Sheeba. Right decision is important with right. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. We'll close the session now. Thank you, ma'am, for joining. Now we have awards for active participation. Learning isn't passive activity. True learning requires active participation. Now we have our next category of our active participation, a recognition in helping further mission of hard work and dedication to the organization is greatly appreciated. IUCEE-EWB Hitam Student Chapter wishes to express and appreciate for the outstanding manner in which you have given your best during the academic year 2020 to 2021. Your efforts, coupled with your super attitude and impressive professionalism for the IUCEE-EWB Hitam Student Chapter. Now I would like to call Dr. request Shiva Prasad sir and Modi sir to dais for giving the certificate. For thank you. The first certificate of appreciation is awarded to Ms. Sheeba Shaista. Next, we have our Vice President, Mr. Mohammed. Now, Ms. Ramya. Secretary of our Executive Committee, congratulations. Now we have Mr. Tushar Shah, Treasurer of our committee. Now we have P. Krishna, our project manager, congratulations. Now we have our EC coordinator, Ms. Pujita. Now we have P. Akshay. Now we have Saujanya. Now we have our triple coordinator, Hitam. Now, guys, you can go and have your lunch and come by 1:20. Guys, we do have quizzes, alumni talks, and another award recognition and praise at the end. So please do join and come at 1:20. Snacks is also being given, guys. Guys, please don't go. Snacks are waiting outside. Take a leave. And again, come back.
Actually, Shaista was that she is allowed to herself.
So they have attended all meetings with you. Some of them are recommended. इधर लगा रहे सबका किसका सर्टिफिकेट बराबर है प्रॉपर पूरा नाम प्रिंट करके आना है और यहाँ पे PAN आना तो इसी फोटो दिया प्रेसिडेंट वाइस प्रेसिडेंट उसका कांटेक्ट नंबर
अच्छा है घर से है का बस
अरे ना फोटो मंची रालेरा शिवानी आवे मंची दियलेरा photo.
Only shoes is uncomfortable. In what you say you have to, while covering certificate, while I put certificate you say before only you say.
Again. अरे जल्दी रहा वो सर्टिफिकेट चीज गलत है साइन बोल रहा है ऑन कर दे Mike. No problem. Sheista, Ramya, you come to माइक में बात करो
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Seriously, guys, that's everyone 8G04. Message already done.
Guys, call your friends and tell them to assemble in G04.
Look, उसमें group extra message करना अरे कोई भी कर दे कैमरा से तो आना बोलो हम सब मीटिंग करना एक मिनट
हम लोग ये वैसे मैडम फोन है ना जाने को देखो बात
Hello. Hello.
हेलो हेलो हेलो
Guys, we are going to start an afternoon session. Please do assemble in G04.
शाइस्ता उधर बुलाया था इधर ही आप हां बात करें ठीक हां
हेलो 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 कॉल वॉल्यूम करके बात कर रहा हूँ I'll be doing hello 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 अब्बा मैम जानिए हटो बाजू हटो ऐसा मैम जानिए
Introduce first. Yeah, voice सुन रहे
Good afternoon. Is my voice audible?
Yeah, it is audible. It's quite loud and clear.
hello
Ma'am, is my voice audible?
Yes, it is audible. Yes. Is there any problem with the audio? I can hear you well.
just a minute ma'am
Acha, sure.
hello hello hello
Hello. Is it audible?
hello 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 hello
Preetham's voice is better and clearer than the voice coming from the microphone on the dais.
मेरे लैपटॉप उधर चार्जिंग खत्म हो गई मेरे लैपटॉप ऑन करो उधर ही
that too will upload it.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
One stop.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
I'm there. Keep in chat. Search what's chat. दिख रहे हो तुम? चल जा रहे हैं. मैडम पिन करो.
Yeah, if you need me to test, so I heard, I mean, whoever spoke on the dais, I heard. I think one is Shaista, there's another speaker on the dais. I heard you. And I hope you can hear me as well.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm wishes for joining us for the second half of the evening IUCEE-EWB annual ceremony. As our theme is Establish, Accomplish, Nourish, I would like to extend my warm welcome to all the delegates and lovely audience we have.
I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust myself to always reach my destination. I feel honored to extend a warm welcome to our guest of honor, beloved Ms. Sampana Pacharya ma'am. She is currently serving as the director of IUCEE-EWB. She plays an active role in the organizational affairs of IUCEE-EWB with a focus on linkages to existing programs of MHRD, AICTE, UGC, and various bodies where IUCEE-EWB has a potential to fill the gaps of engineering colleges. She works closely with the student community to empower them with the tools to grow and make a mark in engineering and beyond. She has traveled extensively all over India and understands the issues being rooted in the engineering education systems that inhibit workforce readiness for global needs. She has dedicated the rest of her life towards enabling the changes at the grassroots level on the platform of IUCEE-EWB. She is also a fitness and sport enthusiast and an amateur long-distance endurance cyclist riding across cities and mountains.
Yes, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Ms. Sampada Pachori ma'am, who is going to give presentation on intentional and experimental learning. The stage is yours, ma'am.
Thank you, Hitam, for organizing this annual ceremony. I hope my screen is visible and I hope my audio is clear to all who are in the audience.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, and my screen is also visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for arranging this annual ceremony and also for making such a detailed plan out of this. I thought I'll take this opportunity to talk a little bit about learning. We all talk about learning, we all talk about lifelong learning. And within learning, there is something that we say, which is an intentional learning or an experiential learning. Hindi may we call this as Anubhav. Anubhav is what is a literal translation of experience. So these are the things that we learn by experiencing them or going through them. And it's if you are wondering why is it relevant and you know what is this topic doing here in an engineering setup, probably over the next 10-20 minutes it will become clearer to you as to why we should spend a little time on trying to understand what this learning is all about and what is its significance to all of us. And it doesn't matter what age or where we are when we talk about intentional learning, okay? So I'll not go straight into the definition of it. Rather, I would like to see if some of the students here, if you are holding your phones or if you have a device, if you can read the code on the top. So just go to www.menti.com, MENTI.com. And when you key in there, then you have to type the code. I will read out the code for you if you can't see the screen. 13820862. So I'll wait for a few seconds for all of you to go there. At least if 10 to 15 students can make an attempt, it will give us some data to talk about. So go to www.menti.com and then enter the code 13820862. So if you do that, we'll have some sample to really see what we can do with a few questions. And these are not too many questions, just 3 or 4 questions to set the stage, to bring us all on the same page with respect to what intentional learning are we talking about. And the question that you see on the screen that you have to answer once you enter this code and get on it. So the question that you see is, what are you learning these days? It's a very simple question. What are you learning these days? And just to give you the sample answers, I'm not suggesting that you type in this answer itself, but in case you're wondering what those answers could be, it could be Python, or you're learning machine learning, or you're learning bungee jumping, or painting, or canvas painting, oil painting, if you can be specific, instrumental music. So yeah, so we have some data coming in now. So some of you have technical learning things that you are doing these days, and some of you are also doing some hobby related learning. Any more answers? Can I have a few more samples? I hope you were able to go on this site. There are a couple more questions, so don't be lazy. I know you've just had your lunch. You may be a little tardy with respect to making an effort to answer questions, but these are simple questions. See if you can participate. It will help you to understand intentional learning a little more. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Good. Couple more seconds. I think most of you are learning Python. I see Python being the largest entry. A lot of you are learning Python, and good to see instrumental music also taking significant place here. Okay, see if you can participate. Other students, if you're there, if you can participate, try. Okay, I'll go to the next question. Now it's related to the answer from the first question. Are you learning what you? Now here it is you. Are you learning what you always wanted to learn? Something that you really wanted to learn, something that was in your plan of action, something that you desired to learn, aspired to learn. You felt that, yes, this is what I want to do. Okay. So we have most of you learning what you always wanted to learn, but a second number of people who are not very aligned to their plan. They're learning something different. Okay. 1 more minute. Any more samples coming in? Any more answers coming in? I'll go next to the question, which is, okay, so name something that you know, which no one taught you. No one, right? Neither at school nor at home. Something that you learned on your own. It could be anything. It could be cycling, it could be mimicry, it could be telling jokes, it could be making up stories, anything, but something which you learned yourself. Nobody taught you in class, in school. You didn't go for a coaching, you didn't go for a training, you were not enrolled into a program, you didn't pay money to learn that. Something that you just learned because it came to you, or you worked for it. You self-trained yourself. Making up stories, interesting. Telling jokes, cycling, practical journey. Okay, that's a little wide topic. Playing cricket, bike riding, yes, chess, football, jokes. Interesting. Okay. So now, tell me, those who have answered, you don't have to say it loud, but you can think within yourself, the things that you learned yourself, shouting, oh, I love this answer. So things that you learned yourself, which nobody taught you and you were not enrolled into a program. I'm guessing that it all happened pretty effortlessly to you. You didn't struggle hard. You didn't have to work for an examination to prepare and to be assessed as how well do you shout, right? Or something like that. It was easy. It was fun, something you loved to do. And also it's something that you will not forget in your life, right? Maybe you will not cycle for, let's say, 10 years, but whenever you eventually do, you don't need to go back into a coaching to learn to cycle, right? Once you've learned it, you will always be able to. Or if it is playing chess or football, you'll be able to do that again, even if you resume it after a long gap, right? That's the thing about things which you do yourself, which you plan and prepare and learn yourself, something which you don't do because somebody else wanted you to learn. That was the point I was actually coming at. Okay. So most of the time where you all are, you have an intention to learn. All of you who are sitting here right now, and if you're listening to this presentation, you have an intention, right? And you have an intention to learn something, which is why you are devoting these 25 minutes with me, because you want to do something, you want to gain something from this. You're all there in this college, you're all signed up into an engineering degree program because you intend to learn something. Most of you would say that I'm learning what my friends are learning. And that's where your motivation or direction comes from, or what your parents want you to learn, or what you're being taught at college, that's what you're learning. Or you're trying to learn what your industry trends guide you to learn, or something which will give you a better job. So this is where most of you are currently situated. But by now you probably believe me and you would agree with me if I said that the ability to learn is the mother of all skills, right? If you know how to learn, you can learn just about anything. You could learn bungee jumping if you had the ability to learn. You could learn to speak in Russian if you had the ability to learn. So ability to learn becomes the mother of all the skills, right? And learning is something like using your muscles in exercise. You know, the more you do, the better you get. It gets developed. If you don't do it, it gets stagnant and it kind of withers away. But if you do more of it, you become better at it. Now, there are two types of learning which are happening right now. One is this formal learning. You're all in this program. You're here to be engineers. This is your formal learning. So this learning happens between the school bells. The school bell rings. Okay, it's physics period. Everybody open your physics book. The physics teacher will walk in and you will all learn physics. The bell will ring. Shut off your physics book. Now the chemistry teacher walks in. Open your chemistry books and you're going to learn chemistry. So somebody's planned this curriculum or a timetable for you, and a bell or an alarm guides you what you are going to learn, and that's a formal learning. The good thing about intentional learning is that there is no school bell ringing, there is no alarm. It's permanently on from the time you become conscious, from the time you take birth till the time you die. Your intentional learning is always on. It's your reflexive learning. It's the instinctive learning which happens, right? And that's what we are talking about right now, right here. Now, in case you wonder why is it relevant to engineering, this is where you will see. But there are two things we want to tell you. So what you see right now on the screen is two different mindsets. There are two mindsets which are very important for somebody to be a better intentional learner. Somebody may be an intentional learner, somebody may not be an intentional learner, right? The difference will lie in these two mindsets, the growth mindsets and the curiosity mindset. So this is the fuel. This is important. If you have these two mindsets, you can develop the skill of intentional learning. Now, what is the growth mindset? It's actually the opposite of fixed mindset. Fixed mindset will say, oh, I am Mr. Know-it-all. You ask me anything. I'm the encyclopedia. I'm the Wikipedia. I know everything that is there to know. There's nothing more left to learn. I've crammed up 100 books. I've read a full library of things. I've done my master's in engineering. And, you know, I've already reached at the top. That's the fixed mindset. There's another mindset, which is the opposite of this, which is growth mindset, which says, oh, I've learned a lot, but there is a lot more to learn. And there is a scope to learn a little more. There's scope to change some of what I've learned and acquire a little more of what can be learned. The good thing is that although we feel that somebody is born with a particular IQ and they can only learn until that point, right? You cannot go beyond that IQ. That's not really true. You can cultivate your intelligence, the ability to learn, and hence your capability for what you do. So that's the most happiest thing about this all. If you have a growth mindset, which is open for expansion or learning more, then you have an option to be more and more intelligent, to be more and more capable each day, right? And another good thing is once you have admitted that while you know a lot, there is a lot more to learn, you kind of get away from this pressure that you have to prove that you're Mr. Know-it-all and that you're perfect. And this releasing this pressure is actually a big load off your shoulders. It actually releases you, liberates you, makes you feel very light and very welcoming new ideas, people telling new things. Other thing is the failure. You don't even see failure as failure. You see that as a chance. Oh yeah, I tried this, but it kind of didn't work. Instead of saying, I tried and it failed, the language that you will actually use is, I tried, but it didn't work the way I wanted it to. I think I have to try it again differently. That's how your approach changes. And that's a little self-talk that you do to yourself. Instead of, so keep practicing, say that, next time don't say, oh, I failed, I tried but I failed. No, say, I tried but I think my approach had something wrong and I think I need to try again, or maybe I need to change this, and this time it should work. That's a very positive and an affirmative way to go about it, and that's what the growth mindset is all about. And it's not difficult, if you believe me. The other thing that you need for being a good intentional learner, or a increasingly intentional learner, is the curiosity mindset. Now, people with curiosity mindset are always open. So here I'll tell you a very short story. That was my eye-opening moment. I had just joined my work with ST Microelectronics, fresh out of college, done my master's, and I had this thing about, oh, I know it all. I've done masters. I've done masters from IIT Delhi. Wow, So I thought that I've now learned everything I needed to learn. And in my first year of my work, I was reporting to a British boss who was in India, and he was pretty old, age-wise as well as experience-wise. So the thing that I got, and which even to this day is right here in my mind, as clear as a memory, is that over a period of times during the projects, he had a habit of walking around the cabins. He had his own closed door cabin, but then we were all in the shared open cabins, and he would walk, he would sit with us, and then he'll start asking us questions. He would ask such basic questions that in the beginning I would wonder, why is he even asking those questions? Doesn't he already know? I mean, what kind of a boss he is? He's, almost in 50s. He's supposed to know all of this. Why is he asking such basic questions? And when he would ask those basic questions, we were supposed to reply to them. And that would open up lot of bondages of what we thought were assumptions, or we had assumed that they were right. He forced us to think. He stimulated our brains and opened it enough to think of what if something differently comes out, right? So the basic questions that he was asking us were actually to help us go beyond the rigid parameters that we had created for ourselves, that this circuit is only going to function this way and there is absolutely no other way. We thought maths and objectivity walked hand in hand. There is no other way a circuit could function. But when he would ask questions, he would give us an opportunity to implement using a different gate architecture, which otherwise would never come to our mind. This is curiosity mindset. You ask questions and you go as basic, fearlessly as you can. And the best thing about curiosity mindset is it is not dependent on age. It's not that you say, oh God, now I'm 50 plus, I'm not going to learn this anymore. That's just does not happen. Curiosity mindset has nothing to do with your age. The best thing is it releases you of the fear of failure. You kind of get over this nonsense pressure that somebody is judging me if I'm asking questions. You kind of rise above that nonsense. You become very joyful. You do what you want to do. And the more you ask questions, the deeper you get into it, the clearer things become to you. And that's what curiosity mindset is. So these two mindsets, if I've been able to explain simplified in a simplified manner, is all you need to kind of start developing intentional learning as your skill. Now, how do you get better at this? So it's like, when we say, I have to learn to cycle, let's say, I always take example of cycling because I'm a cyclist. So to cycle, what all do you need? You need two legs which can pedal, and you need a cycle, right? You need, these are the two things you need, legs and cycle. That was these two mindsets, the growth mindset and the curiosity mindset. But then how do you really actually learn to cycle? By sitting on the on the seat and then start pedaling, start moving. And then obviously, improving your stance or your stride or your riding abilities. And that happens with practice, right? Today you will start, you may fall, you may go off balance, and in another month's time, by continuing to practice cycling, you'll get better at it. And then you never know, one day you'll be cycling at 30 kmph like me. So that's the practice part. So there are 5 things I'm going to tell you very quickly, and that would be the end of my presentation. These are the 5 things which you practice. So you start with a growth mindset and a curiosity mindset as the essential fuel. And with this mindset, if these are the 5 things you do, you become better and better and better. And you can continue doing this always. It becomes your habit, a habit which becomes like something you do even in your sleep. You don't have to make an effort for it. Number 1, set very, very small, very clear, measurable, tangible, objective goals. It could be as simple as that today I will wake up at 5 a.m. And you make an effort to wake up at 5 a.m. It could be as simple, right? But this goal should be something which is very close to your heart, which you really want to do. Something like, shouting or telling a joke, something you want to do. When you do something which is very close to your heart, it stays with you, it sticks to you. You don't forget it all your life. Even after 30, 40 years, it will stay with you. It's not that, chemistry itni bewafa, raat ko padi, din ko safa. Kal subah mera exam tha, all night I studied my organic chemistry. Tomorrow morning after my examination, if you ask me any question, sorry, I've forgotten. My mind is now on the next subject. Chemistry is out. No, not like that. It becomes, it sticks to you. And when you do that particular thing, it becomes your mauka, no chauka kind of a moment. Zindagi na milegi dobara thi. Ki mujhe to ye karna hi hai. It is, it is something I have to do. This is my only chance to do this. That's simple, right? That kind of zid, right? Second thing you do, remove all the distraction. When you have to remove the distraction, you don't really start out by saying, mujhe naya kya karna hai? What is it that I have to do over and above what I'm already doing? You rather think, what is it that I'm doing which I can eliminate from my day activity? It could be, okay, I spend every 2-3 minutes, I look at my WhatsApp. No, maybe that's something which I should not be doing. Maybe I can define times, between this to this time, I'll be checking my WhatsApp, and then for 3 hours, I will not be, whatever it is, So there may be things which you need to probably eliminate and not add, right? And when we say protect time for learning, it becomes, it's something like it is a 2,000 rupee note which your mother gives you and says, this is all I'm giving you, and you have to, you have to last this 2,000 rupees for the entire month. And in fact, it happened with me. I remember there was a time when I was in my hostel at IIT. I kind of spent, I would get scholarship, and I spent all my money, and I had only 10 rupees left in my wallet. And it was somewhere around 20th of the month, and I still had 10 more days to go before I could get the new money into my bank account that I could, withdraw for. So I knew I had 10 rupees, which I have to spend or not spend, but I have to last 10 days with those 10 rupees. And I didn't want to ask my parents or my father that, mujhe paisa chahiye. So every day I would look at the 10 rupee note and put it back in my purse, knowing that I have these 10 rupees for an emergency. Us samay I had to pay only 2 rupees to take the bus from IIT Delhi gate to the New Delhi station. So if I was going home, let's say in between for a weekend, out of that 10 rupee, 2 rupee I will spend on the bus. And then 5 rupees I'll have to pay over my monthly pass on the train to go from Delhi to Aligarh. So I'll spend 7 rupees, I'll still have 3 rupees left. Can you believe it? It's a real thing that I'm telling you. That's how you protect your time for learning. Your time becomes very precious to you. You don't waste it. You define your priorities, you go with your priorities. And since it is very important, so you become mindful. right? Like I was, that this 10 rupee I have to spend only in these things. I can't spend this money. In fact, in those days, even to make a call, we had to go to the PCO and we had to, spend 1 rupee or 2 rupees to talk to our parents for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Now we knew that we can only talk for 1 minute or 2 minutes. So we used to prepare ourselves ki mummy ko kya batana hai, because the clock is going on and the PCO will hang up, right? Not like today, I can make the call and I can go endlessly talking 2 hours and 3 hours. And we are talking all the nonsense. That's what I mean to say. So remove the distraction, be very mindful about what you have and what you need to protect to go further. Third, take feedbacks and feedback such that they're actionable, that you can do something about it. So don't just say, how did I do? And the person say, oh, you did good. This is actually like a useless feedback. It does boost your ego, but it doesn't give you anything. If good, what good? If bad, what bad? If average, what was the average? Go ask question, further question. Be very, very specific. Find out the feedback so that you actually know what was good. To keep asking questions till that point. You also need to know what to do with this feedback. It kind of becomes your data, right? This becomes your input, your data, which will help you re-strategize next time. How could you do something better? And then, of course, if you have a model, if you have an expert who has already done that sometime before you, you have an aspiration to do something, somebody else has already done that. You can always have a contact with that person to find out what they did, what went wrong, what were the things which they learn from their experience. Fourth is you practice with deliberation. So it's a simple thing. We always have grown up believing practice makes man perfect. एक ये phrase है जो कि बचपन से English में literature में पढ़ा है, practice makes man perfect. But practice what? Abhi, you make a mistake and you just keep making that mistake over and over again. You'll become perfect at making mistakes, right? So use this practice as a philosophy to improve. So you try something. Something might fail, something might not fail. Partial fail, partial success. You find out what worked, what didn't work. And then when you repeat, you consciously repeat, making sure that what did not work has to work this time after, sort of changing your strategy. In my case, for instance, if I know I have to, I can cycle 15 kilometers in 1 hour when I started. Now, next time I want to go 17 kilometers in 1 hour. So I kind of push myself just a little bit more each time. So I'm not practicing the same thing over and over again, but I'm kind of adding a little tadka onto it just to push myself a little better, to get a little better each time. That becomes an, opportunistic learner. So, and what is that tadka that you need? And what is that extra limit that you need to push is what you decide, depending upon what your goal is, what you're trying to learn, right? That is intentional and learning with experience. And the fifth and the last point is reflect. Now, reflection is not just when, सब कुछ बिगड़ गया, सब कुछ बिखर गया, उसके बाद बैठ करके reflect कर रहे हैं कि oh God, क्या बिगड़ गया? No, reflection can actually happen before, during planning. We are all engineers, right? During planning, we reflect. During the activity, we reflect. After the activity, we reflect. So some of you who worked with me during this student summit preparation, or who have, had times and exchanges with me, would probably already know. We do a lot of reflection, right? After summit, I said it's not over yet. We have to do some post-mortem analysis of our student summit. We have to see what went good, what went wrong. But before that also, for 2 months, we were planning for the summit. So reflection is like a diagnostic skill. It helps you assess in your own way. Nobody else is doing it. I'm doing it for myself. You do it for yourself. You kind of sit and understand what is it that we are going to do. So that becomes your reflecting before the event. During the event, when you have this ability to reflect during something going on, you are able to immediately change the course. So for instance, you remember we didn't have the people on the spot speaking competition showed up. Immediately we adjusted on the spot and we had the audience coming up and taking the spot to be on the spot presenters. And then after the event, so when you reflect after the event, it kind of gives you tips as to what is it that you can do next time better, what is it that you can improve next time, right? So the good thing is that it becomes a virtuous cycle. The more you do, the better you get. The better you get, the more you do. So it's a very self-fueling, self-feeding kind of a habit. And it also, over a period of time, completely removes your internal resistance or friction to change things around you or yourself, right? So we heard, all of this. And if, as I said, if you're wondering why are we talking about this experiential learning or intentional learning, as I said, it is a mother of all skills, right? If you have the ability to learn, if you have practiced this skill, and the more you practice it, इसमें अगर डोले बना लो, इसमें अगर अपनी muscles develop कर लो, 6-pack ab बना लो, learning के, intentional learning के, it will help you, because whatever you are learning today in your engineering, it will take you to the start line. But as I always say, you do not just need to get inside the start line. You have to aim at the finish line, which is 30 years from now. To last in this industry for 30 years, if you go in with this ability of learning, you'll probably be able to survive in a very luxurious manner and not struggle. And that's why we need to think about it, consciously work at it, and develop it, because this is what will make a big difference and help you to adjust to the transformation that will be happening more and more frequently. From this whole presentation which I have done is basically a reference from McKinsey report, and it has been spoken during the Job Reset Summit by World Economic Forum. And the thing is that we are in the middle of reskilling emergency, and the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is not just about entering with some machines and manufacturing abilities and skills, but this is one revolution where the skills will continuously change, the job will continuously change. It's not that कि एक set of jobs आ गया, now वो अगले 10 साल तक चलने वाला है. These skills will keep on changing. So to adapt and prepare ourselves for that change, we need to be good at that. And that's about it. I'll close my presentation. Any questions? Unless everybody is asleep, because I couldn't see anybody. Any questions? हाँ, मुझे जगे हुए लोग दिख रहे हैं, आंखें तो खुले. Oh, is that Saeed? Yeah, I saw him. Yes, hey. Good. So good to see you all in physical classroom. Your voice is echoing, so I heard you, but not clearly. तुम्हारे बाजू में भी कौन बैठा है? Hi. It feels nice to see students back in classrooms. Any questions? नहीं, आवाज नहीं आ रही है आपकी. Saeed, you probably need to relay your question to somebody else, maybe.
हैदराबाद कब आ रहे हो?
हाँ?
हैदराबाद कब आ रहे हो?
नहीं समझ में आ रहा, मतलब तुम बोल रहे हो लेकिन पता नहीं चल रहा क्या बोल रहे हो, एको कर रहा है.
मैम भैया बोल रहे हैं आप हैदराबाद कब आ रहे हैं?
जब सईद बुलाएगा तभी आ जाऊंगी.
अभी बुला रहा हूं, आ जाओ.
अच्छा, मैं अभी पैकिंग शुरू करती हूँ, आती हूँ. Was it useful? Anybody, any questions? Was it useful?
Yes, ma'am.
वो तो yes ही बोलोगे.
As usual, ma'am.
As usual.
I learned TT, ma'am. How to play TT.
Not very clear. Somebody can type
And
what
how
he's
to
saying.
play TT.
Huh? संतोष सर कहाँ है?
Ma'am, I learned how to
There
play
he is.
TT.
Hi संतोष sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, hi.
Ma'am, I learned how to play TT. Delicate.
You want to play TT?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, great. Okay. And who will you play with? Shaista?
No, ma'am. With you.
Oh, मेरे को TT नहीं आता. मेरे संग साइकिल पे चलो.
Ma'am, आपकी तो सिखाना मैम TT चलना.
ओ वो वाला TT. अच्छा, वो तो हम रात को खेलते थे. Oh my God. अगले दिन समिट है और रात को चल रहा है TT. Now I recall. Yes, yes, yes. For all those who don't know what this TT is all about, so I used to tell Saeed कि जैसे ही कोई इशू आता है आपके पास, कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है, कोई सिनेरियो आता है that you have to deal with, right? उसको फटाफट डील करो और उसको पास ऑन करो. You know, it's like playing TT. The minute the problem comes to you, fix it and pass it back to the next person. Don't sit with that ball, hold it and then wait कि अच्छा अभी मैं कल करूँगा, परसों करूँगा, अभी सोचता हूँ, अभी बॉल को धोऊंगा, साफ करूँगा. No such thing. The minute you get the problem, you work on it, you fix it, and you just pass it back to the person who needs it. And that's the TT we are talking about. All right. If this is done and if there are no more questions, तो मैं quiz start करूँ. शाइस्ता मैम, order दीजिए.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring and interesting message for us.
That's Sohel, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I welcome you all.
I welcome you all to the most awaited and the most amazing session of the day. We bring you all very breathtaking and fascinating session based on design, critical thinking skills, and pursuit your brain to next level. We know that you are so excited and curious about the competition. Without wasting much time, let's move towards the quiz competition. With hope for the best, rise, throw off your tension, and lead yourself to the win.
So how the quiz will be played? The main rules to be followed. Before the first question starts, participants get to enter name. They must enter their real name. The username should be correct. Otherwise, the Mentimeter will allow you with a random name. So, make sure you enter with your real name. I repeat.
The link is provided in the WhatsApp group. Please check the group. After clicking the link, here first you go with the first. Enter your full name, real name. The link is provided in the WhatsApp group.
So go to www.menti.com and this time use a different code. This code is 1404 3149. 1404 3149. And when you are entering Mentimeter, use your name. Otherwise, Mentimeter will give you some odd name like a banana or a peach.
The code is on screen. Enter the code, guys. If you are enter your real name. Otherwise, Mentimeter will give you a random name like banana, apple, potato, like that.
Are you done? Everyone is done?
Not asking for the name.
नहीं Mentimeter ऑनलाइन जाओ सबको mentimeter.com पे जाओ
If the link is not
नहीं तुम मेंटी का कोड आ रहा है Mentimeter का नहीं गलत कोड है
Menti.com.
Go to www.menti.com.
Mentimeter
The WhatsApp link is not working. Please go to www.menti.com and enter the code 14043149.
कैमरा में बताओ ऐसा आता कैमरा नहीं दिख रहा
So here are the instructions. First, enter your real name. Then the question appears and the participants need to answer before the countdown ends. Wrong or no answers give 0 points.
No negatives.
No negative marks. If the wrong or no answer gives 0 points.
Who will give first? उसको ज़्यादा point आते हैं
Leaderboard after each question shows who is in lead. At the last, which leaderboard the final winner is revealed.
the fast answer get time.
फॉरवर्ड कर पर उसके लिए उधर से आ रहा है क्या
So everyone is done.
everyone join the board पूछो कुछ डॉट है तो पूछो इसको
Anyone is facing any problem?
नेम नहीं आ रहा अरे सुन नेक्स्ट लाइन का है नेक्स्ट लाइन
Okay, ma'am. You can start.
शुरू करें एवरीबडी रेडी इसमें फास्टेस्ट आंसर पे ज्यादा पॉइंट्स हैं एंड एवरी क्वेश्चन हैज 20 सेकंड्स
Here is the first question on the screen.
name tell them to give the name
क्वेश्चन शुरू हो चुका है
takes time and how long would take
Here is the first question. 9, 8, 7, 6,
मुझे जैसे ही नंबर बोल रहे हैं
4, 3, 2, 1. No time is done. Because 8 men already built the wall. Here comes the leaderboard.
hey who's hustler who's dragonite people didn't give names yaar
name not given
abhi how will you find out who's who
Who is the hustler?
Who's
somebody needs to write down ki who's hustler who's dragonite who's sakura who's vote goat वरना पता कैसे चलेगा या let's wait for the final results maybe shall we क्या करना है
पेपर में ले लो नोट डाउन कर पेपर लास्ट में नो लास्ट आंसर क्या
tell me when you are ready for me to go to the next question
हस्लर पूजिता ड्रैगनाइट रम्या
What good?
लास्ट में जाके देखना, लास्ट में देखो
यार
सोहेल, लास्ट में देख लेंगे, लास्ट में देख लेंगे, लास्ट में देख लेंगे। शाइस्ता, लास्ट में देख,
last will take last.
Okay, ma'am. We will
Okay.
proceed to the next question.
Okay.
Here comes the second question.
Hindi, English and English at the same time. Name that can be written
Name
in
that can be written in Hindi, English, and numericals at the same time. Option A, Vinod. Option B, Akshay. Option C, Pranay. And option 4, Hemant. Time up, guys.
question कौन किया है?
And the correct answer is Vinod.
And now correct him.
Pujita, Ramya, Pritam, they are fighting for spots.
इन लोगों को आंसर पता है क्या?
And here comes the third question.
इनको आंसर पता है? हाँ?
What's greater than God and more evil than the devil? Rich people want it, poor people have it, and if you eat it, you will die. Humanity, misery, self-respect, or nothing.
Five, four, three, two, one. Time up.
13 got it right. Pujita and Pritam. Tight competition between Pujita and Pritam.
And here comes the fourth question.
इनको आंसर पता है? क्यों आंसर नहीं दे? दूसरा ऑप्शन.
You spot a boat full of people, but there isn't a single person on board. How is that possible? All the people on board are dead due to tsunami. You have an eye problem. Everyone on board is married. None of the above.
4, 3, 2, 1. Time up.
None of the above. Everyone God is married.
कहाँ से ढूंढ ढूंढ के लाई है क्वेश्चन? Ramya and Pujita again back to back.
And here comes the fifth question.
Fourth of why?
A poor cowboy rode into town on Friday. He stayed in town for 3 days and rode out on Friday. How is that possible?
Because the horse name is Friday.
These are so engineering questions. लगता है पूजिता. Oh, okay, she's still top. पूजिता and Ramya. प्रीतम बका, तुम सेकंड से फोर्थ हो गए.
Here comes the sixth question. Answer fast to get more points, guys. This key can't open any doors.
Monkey. Both the monkey don't care. Answer क्या है?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Donkey. Seriously. Only so few people playing.
Who is John? John Faraday.
Some Faraday.
Here comes the seventh question.
Filling up water. There are no windows or doors on the cup. Stop imagining it.
Imagine you are in a room that's filling up with water quickly. There are also
Correct answer.
Trimurti Reddy is, I think, beginning to come up. Yes. Back up, Trimurti.
Please, sir. Faraday कौन है? इधर का कोई नहीं है.
Who is Faraday? बोल के question मत कर.
2016, which new type of chocolate was discovered?
Marla.
3, 2,
Last
1.
option. Marla. Ruby.
And here comes the ninth
You know the answer,
question.
huh?
I know very few sir, because modified the questions.
Who modified it?
She modified questions.
Modified term lexicon used for. Who is Faraday? पूछ एक ऑनलाइन में तो नहीं है कोई भी तो पूछ आप
Here comes the next question. What is the average weight of human brain?
14 grams. Not 4 kilos.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
14 grams दिया कौन 14 लोग
Here comes the leaderboard results. Ramya is in the top.
कुछ Johnny
Here comes the next question. What is always coming but never arrives?
yes don't
And here comes the 12th question. What can be broken but never held?
Glass, heart, or promise?
Promise.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here comes the 13th question. What does everyone need, want, and ask, but never take? Appreciation, answer, or advice?
Advice.
Here comes the leaderboard.
1 point.
Here comes the next question.
Start of left, go right hand. Circle answer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Start 4. And here comes the leaderboard results. Here comes the next question. I have many rings, but they are not worth much. What I am? Options are plant, tree, flower. And here comes the leaderboard.
John, इधर ही कोई हो गया John.
And here comes the next question.
What runs but never walks, murmurs but never talks, has a bed but never sleeps, and has a mouth but never eats?
Options are snake, river, both of them, none of them. 3, 2, 1, time out. And here comes the leaderboard.
So this is the last chance for somebody to win by just being the fastest finger, but most of you are giving the correct answer. So the only way for you to score points is by being the fastest finger first. Last chance.
And here comes the last question of the quiz competition. Which was the first non-tech playing country to beat India in the international match?
Who exclude
Options
you?
are Canada, Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe, South Africa. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here comes the leaderboard. First place goes to G. Ramya.
Ramya, Pujita, and then Faraday or Katyayani Meduri.
And the third is Anshul.
Ramya, Pujita, and Faraday.
First place.
So like first two guys are from our committee. So we are removing the two, and from the third person, we will be getting the first position.
Okay.
The first position goes to Anshul, and the second goes to Katyayani, and third goes to Divya. Congrats, guys.
Congratulations,
Certificate will be
winners.
given in award function. Certificate.
By the end of the session, we'll provide certificates for you. Thank you, ma'am, for inspiring and enriching message for us. Thank you for joining. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you.
जो भी winners है, they have to share ice cream with me when we meet.
And here comes the next session of annual ceremony.
Alumni convocation. Are you guys really excited?
Certificate.
We would like to take to another informative and exciting session, the alumni convocation.
इसको तो भारी को अच्छा रहता है। ना और सीधे भी अच्छा रहता है।
Guys, let's stay for a couple of minutes, just 2 minutes. Come on to the dais for the group photo. All EWB members, come on to the dais for group photo. I repeat, all EWB chapter members, come on to the dais for group photo.
Okay. इसमें बैग
Next time, you have to take care.